Shalom, shalom, giving our praises to the Most High and His Son Yahawashi. Today's class, Memorial Blowing of the Trumpet and the Day of Atonement. Want to go over these classes due to the fact that we have these high holy days coming up, and a lot of times when brothers and sisters are not knowing what they are about or what the Day of Atonement is, so it's good that you can get the edification. We're going to start in Leviticus 23 and 24. Leviticus 23 and 24. We're going to get right into it. Hope everybody's having a blessed week so far, knowing that these days are very important. Read that out.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 24. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month.
See, as of August the 27th, this wicked holiday, this is the beginning of a new month, the 7th month. Read on.
In the first day of the month shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets in holy convocation.
A holy convocation, that means gathering together. That's why we teach these things, so Israel will know. You know, you got the Israelites out there that bash camps, talk bad about camps, but what part of the scriptures are they keeping? They're not. That's all they do is know how the crabs in a barrel, man. Read on.
Ye shall do no servile work therein.
See, no servile work. That's physical, heavy manual labor. You know, and the thing too is, some of us, we're in captivity here. So you ain't got no vacation time. Guess where you got to be? You got to go see Master. Read on.
But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
That part we're not doing anymore. So we should understand the Most High say on the 7th month, on the first day of the month, we should have a memorial blowing of the trumpet. Now let's get into it. Numbers 29 and 1.
The book of Numbers, chapter 29, verse 1. And in the 7th month, on the first day of the month, ye shall have a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work. It is a day of blowing the trumpets unto you.
That's Psalms 81 and 1. It is a day of blowing the trumpet. A high holy day, man. And we should take these days serious. Those that can take these days off, it'll be good. Start lining your days up with the holidays instead of trying to take that trip to Cancun. Read that right quick,
The book of Psalms, chapter 81 and verse 1. Sing aloud unto God our strength.
Say, sing aloud, man. This is a high holy day, a holy convocation. We should be celebrating and having fun. Read.
Make a joyful noise unto the God of Jacob.
See, and say to the God of Jacob. See. And we should be out there. We will be out there. We'll be at the school on Sunday evening. We're going to be making noise. Believe me. Read.
Take a song and bring hither a tremble, the pleasant harp with the psaltery.
Making pleasant music. Read.
Blow up the trumpet in the new moon.
See, right there where a lot of people get confused. Esau took that and made it into the dark moon. That is not a new moon. You can't see nothing out there. It say that is talking about new month. Not new moon, new month. That's what new moon stands for, new month. Read.
In the time appointed, on our solemn feast day.
See, it's a solemn feast days. We're going to be barbecuing. We're going to be having a great time. We're going to be out there banging with the mosquitoes, but we're going to be having a good time out there. And you wonder, man, The mosquitoes are not out there on the land. Why are they all up in the city? You would think they would be out there. Mosquitoes everywhere. Read on.
For this was a statute for Israel.
See, it's a statute for Israel. Read.
And a law of the God of Jacob.
And this is a law. Let's go to Sirach 43 and 6. This is a law. So when you got Israelites out there that hating on everything that everybody does because it doesn't soothe their spirit, it doesn't make them feel good inside, it's give me that memorial blowing of the trumpet first. It's not soothing their spirit. These the trumpets, man. That's all we need on. Let's go to Sirach 43 and 6.
The book of Sirach, chapter 43, verse 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of time.
Right there. Moon means wisdom. So you have to understand, when I went out there a few days ago, man, I seen that crescent moon. I was like, man, the new month is coming in. It was just automatic. You can't get no automatic if you can't see nothing out there. You can't get nothing automatic if you're going on Esau calendar. It's the spirit that's bear witness to these things. Read.
And a sign of the world.
So it's a sign of the world. If you go to McDonald's and you don't see a sign up there, what do? You keep going. Because you don't know if it's open or closed, do you? If you don't see a stop sign, do you stop? So this is a sign. So you got to understand, it's got to be there so you can see it. Some of our people, man, they hard-headed and stiff-necked. Read on.
From the moon is the sign of peace.
It's the sign of peace, man. Read.
A light that decreaseth in her perfection.
And the light that decreases in her perfection. Read on.
The month is called after her name.
See, that's what, you go back to Psalms 81 and 3, that's all it's saying right there. So I don't understand why is so much uproar about this. Read.
Increasing wonderfully in her changing.
Increasing wonderfully in her changing. Read on.
Being an instrument of the armies above.
Read.
Shining in the firmament of heaven.
So you got to understand, this thing is shining. So once it's at its fullest, and it's talking about that. But read on.
The beauty of heaven. The glory of the stars.
This is the glory of all stars. Read.
An ornament giving light.
They're giving what?
Giving light.
So I guess we got to be dumbfounded, man, to go back to thinking what somebody's saying and they ain't got a pot to pee in, man. It gives light. Read.
In the highest places of the Lord.
Read on.
At the commandment of the Holy One, they will stand in their order.
At the command of the Holy One. Read.
And never faint in their watches.
So anytime that you understand that you're watching for this, it's always going to be on time. Every 30 days. Let's go to Sirach 39 and 12. This one they don't want to deal with. Read that right quick.
The book of Sirach, chapter 39, and verse 12. Yet have I more to say, which I have thought upon.
Read.
For I am filled as the moon at the full.
That's what it is, man. See, Esau took the Apocrypha out of the Bible. The moon is at its full when you can see it completely. It have a glow on it. You know you at the beginning of a month. Wait till the 26th. Wait till the evening of the morning of the 27th. You're gonna see something, and you see it every month. That's how we know. Let's go to Ezra 3 and 4. We can't continue following man. Man gonna lead you right down for destruction. Let's go to Ezra 3 and 4.
The book of Ezra, chapter 3 and verse 4. They kept also the Feast of Tabernacles.
They did what?
They kept also the Feast of Tabernacles.
Read.
As it is written.
So we're doing the same thing. We're practicing a righteous rehearsal as it is written. How can you be practicing something when you got your moon days off, man? You're going by a dark moon. Some not even out there. I thought he made the two great lights. So what would the moon be there for if it's not there for that light? Read on.
And offered the daily burnt offerings by number, according to the custom, as the duty of every day required. And afterward offered the continual burnt offering, both of the new moons,
New months.
read, and of all the set feasts of the Lord that were consecrated, and of every one that willingly offered a free will offering unto the Lord.
Read on.
From the first day of the 7th month began they to offer burnt offerings unto the Lord. But the foundation of the temple of the Lord was not yet laid.
Read.
They gave money also unto the masons and to the carpenters, and meat and drink and oil unto them of Zidon.
That's all we need on that. But this is a spiritual movement. When we fail to understand, it's all about spirits. It's not about these fleshly bodies. Let's go to 2 Chronicles 5 and 13, showing that our forefathers kept these things. But give me Exodus 23 and 17 right quick. You got people out here teaching you're supposed to go to Israel. What are we going over there for, man? It's over there nothing but a bunch of homosexuals and pedophiles. Until it is purged, they no use of going over there spending $2,000 or $3,000. You see how many people, what fool would do something like that? Lead his congregation to do something like that. When they can take that money and buy land and try to build and help the body. They more worried about being seen. It's not about that.
Read that out, the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 17. 3 times in the year all thy males shall appear before the Lord God.
See, it say 3 times at thy year all thy males shall appear before the Lord God. So these individualites, what are they doing? I heard one guy say, well, he just staying at home with his family. You know, you should always, the Passover, Feast of the First Fruit, Feast of Tabernacles, 3 major ones. We should always keep our traditions and customs. Now let's go back to 2 Chronicles 5 and 13. We should always practice a righteous rehearsal. But you got people that don't like to read that out.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 5 and verse 13.
This is how we do things. Read.
It came even to pass, as the trumpeters and singers were as one. Read. To make one sound to be heard in praising and thanking the Lord. And when they lifted up their voice with the trumpets and cymbals and instruments of music and praised the Lord, saying, for he is good. For his mercy endureth forever.
Read on.
That then the house was filled with a cloud, even the house of the Lord.
Read.
So that the priest could not stand to minister by reason of the cloud. For the glory of the Lord had filled the house of God.
See, they don't understand having that kind of spirit, having that kind of, man. Just think about it. You seeing that cloud come down. How people's in the spirit. When you worship in the Lord, they say worship him in the spirit. How can you worship him in spirit and you don't know how to even worship him? Say worship him in spirit, man. Keep the commandments. Keep the oath. Let's go to Psalms 98:1. Knowing how to do these things is very important.
Read out the book of Psalms, chapter 98, verse 1. Oh, sing unto the Lord a new song.
Read.
For he hath done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm hath gotten him the victory.
Read.
The Lord hath made known his salvation.
He's made known the ones that are waking, that are keeping these holy days. We understand what's going to take place here. We understand there's going to be death and destruction and famine here. Wars. A lot of our people's in Christianity. They want to love America. Read.
His righteousness hath he openly showed in the sight of the heathen.
In the sight of the heathens. A lot of times y'all don't even know when y'all walking around, y'all got your dress on and your fringes on. They see these things. They might not say nothing to you, but they curious as hell about what is that. Man, I just seen another down the street. You know how they talk. What's going on around here? Esau, you going into captivity. Hold up, man.
Read on. He hath remembered his mercy and his truth toward the house of Israel.
Read.
All the ends of the earth have seen the marvel, the salvation of our God.
All of them. Read.
Make a joyful noise unto the Lord.
That's what we should be doing, man. These high holy days will be some of the most blessed times you can have. Not worrying about Esau, too much food to eat, too much drink to drink, too many friends, don't want to go home in the end. Read.
All the earth. Make a loud noise.
Make a loud noise, man. When we out there partying, make loud noises, man. So when they out there popping their firecrackers, they making loud noise. Let's start making loud noise. Read.
And rejoice.
And what?
And rejoice.
Rejoice, man, because you know this captivity is almost over, man. Read.
And sing praise.
Do what?
And sing praise.
We out there singing praises. Read.
Sing unto the Lord with the harp.
Read.
With the harp. And the voice of a song.
Read.
With trumpets and sound of cornet. Make a joyful noise before the Lord, the King.
The who?
The King.
Read on.
Let the sea roar, and the fullness thereof, the world, and they that dwell therein.
Man, show your praises to be awakened. You could be you could be a dum-dum out there today. I mean, this is a joyous moment, man, to see Israel in harmony as one.
That's right.
Now give me Joel 2:1. It's a blessing, man, to know that you're around family. But it's come a time, man, when the trumpets get to blowing. Esau knows that his end. See, y'all don't understand the parallel with this. See, we celebrate now. But when them trumpets blow, it's gonna be wartime soon. Read on.
The book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion.
He say what?
Blow ye the trumpet in Zion.
Read on.
And sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble.
What?
Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble.
Well, there's gonna come a time when they gonna see it just increasing more and more and more and more. They gonna start to tremble, man.
Read. For the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand.
It is near. It is near at hand. Give me Ezekiel 33:1. See, right now, we blowing the trumpets and celebrating because we're learning our customs, our folkways, our byways. We're not just sitting up anymore celebrating Thanksgiving and Christmas. We're celebrating the high holy days. We're not celebrating the wicked holidays. Read on.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 33 and verse 1. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, Speak to the children of thy peoples, read, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, read, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, and for their watchmen, read, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. That's what's happening, man. We're blowing this trumpet, and we're warning our peoples. We out there in the corners. We the watchmen, read. Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet, the Bible, read, and taketh not warning. They don't take warning, man, because they too busy trying to be wicked. Read. If the sword come and take him away, read, his blood shall be upon his own head. So when they drop dead, man, something happened to him. That's why I tell you, I don't shed a tear. Read. He heard the sound of the trumpet. See, he heard the sound of the trumpets, read, and took not warning. See, some of our people, they don't take warnings, read. His blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. Read on. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, we out there blowing the trumpet, man. We're out there telling the world who we are, that it's time to get back. It's time to come home. Read. And the people be not warned. If the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. So we got Israelites sitting around, ain't doing nothing. They too busy on Facebook. They too busy on YouTube trying to critique somebody. But they ain't out doing no work, man. Some of the people, they don't understand. They can always run their mouth the way they get out there. We out there in the worst parts of the city, man. And we coming to your city. And we're going to be in the worst part. We gonna that holding camp it's okay, but that door to door, man, it is doing damage to this nation, man. Read on. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. What are we? I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. We are the watchmen, man. We supposed to be blowing the trumpet to warn them, but see, some of them, they gonna have to die in their iniquities. Read on. Therefore, thou shalt hear the word at my mouth. Read and warn them from me. See, we're not out there to do what somebody else say, man. I'm in my feelings. I don't care. Mm-hmm. You ain't out there warning nobody. You got a good game, but that ain't helping nobody. You ain't got no works. You ain't got no works in this truth. And people always like to step up, man. You got men been in this truth for years out there with boots on the ground. It's crazy. Read. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die. See, people thinking when I tell them they're going to drop dead and he going to snatch their neck out their socket, they think it's a game. I'm telling them the truth. I just don't know how it's going to happen. Read on. If thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity. So I'm just telling them the truth. It might not come out the way that you want it. Like I was telling Mike Jones, this dude that said he was Israelite, but he's smoking weed. He want me to talk soft like Joel Osteen. I'm trying to put fear in his body, man, so he'll wake up. Read on. But his blood will I require at thine hand. So we got to go out there and do the work, man. We can't worry about how people don't like how it's coming off. We still coming out the scriptures. That's your problem. You don't want to hear what your God got to say. Give me Zephaniah 1 and 14. All we here to do is do the work. You know, Christ said they're not going to love you for this work. Christ said they're going to hate you because you're telling the truth. Read that. The book of Zephaniah, chapter 1 and verse 14. The great day of the Lord is near. See, that day is near, man. That's why we out there blowing the trumpet. We out there speaking loud, man, as loud as we can. You see, I see them Christianity people coming on the page. He would get more word, he would get through to more if he just speaks soft to him, man. You can't speak soft to a wicked Negro.
That's right.
You got to speak the Lord word. They ain't saying nothing about that. They act like we just out there having a conversation. They ain't saying, man, he pulled that scripture on them, man. They ain't saying nothing about them.
but they want to keep it cordial like TD Snakes. TD Snakes is a down low brother.
Read on. It is near. It hasted greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly.
What are we out there doing?
The mighty man shall cry there bitterly.
See, they thinking we just out there playing games with our people. We're out there crying bitterly for our nation, man. Some people don't know when it's 109 degrees, you out there on that concrete. Some people don't know it's 30 and 20 degrees, you out there in the cold.
Right.
They don't care about all that. All they want to do is, it happened my way. Read.
That day is a day of wrath.
Hey, what?
That day is a day of wrath.
We out there blowing the trumpet, but read on.
A day of trouble and distress.
The trouble and distress. Some of y'all don't see that. See, Big Mama thinking she got a good check coming in. She can go buy all the pork she want to. It ain't gonna never end. But that's a lie. Read.
A day of wasteness and desolation.
Destruction. Read.
A day of darkness and gloominess.
Read on.
A day of clouds and thick darkness.
Read.
A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities.
See, we out there with the trumpet and alarm. We're trying to tell our nation it's time to get right. But they refuse this truth, man. But see, we already know 2/3 got to die. Sometimes I know I'm looking at a part of that club. That's a club you don't want to have a invitation in. That's a club you don't want to be in. Read.
And against the high towers.
And against the high towers. Read.
And I will bring distress among men.
He's going to bring distress, suffering, and pain.
Read. That they shall walk like blind men.
They walking like blind men, man. They see us out there. It's hatred for their brother. And they can't see its unity amongst the body. Read.
Because they have sinned against the Lord.
See, they don't see it. Now they pissed off at us for we bringing their sins to the light. Read.
And their blood shall be poured out as dust.
Hold up. How their blood gonna fall out their body?
Shall be poured out as dust.
We out there warning them, man. They don't want to hear. That's all we can do. I'm not out there to play games with you. I know y'all ain't seen the one with this pastor lady. You know, man, one stiff-necked sister, boy. But the Lord worked her over. Read on.
And their flesh as the dung.
Like do, like I tell them, man. Do. They be thinking I'm making this up myself. But this is all scripture. Read.
Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath.
What about your Cadillac now, Big Mama? What about your Bentley now, old school? It ain't gonna do nothing for you.
Mm-hmm.
See, our people, they comfortable, man. They comfortable being wicked. Read on.
But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land.
Man, he gonna kill them all. That's why we out here on them street corners. So we out there blowing the trumpets. It's more to it than celebrating. We out there working. Hard labor, man. It's a lot of work goes in there. We on the clock 24 hours a day, 360 days out the year. We don't count these extra 5 days because they don't mean nothing to us. So you have to understand when you're out there doing their work, we're out there blowing the trumpet for our nation. Cry loud, spare not. But see, they ain't want you to come out there and spare up. And let's deal with this. Let's go back to Numbers 29:7. It's the Day of Atonement. Let's deal with this now. It's like a double class, and that wasn't enough for them. I could have went into a whole class, but I wanted to get these two out the way because we got the Feast of Tabernacles following right behind them. Then later on, the Feast of Dedication. Read that out, the book of Numbers, chapter 29 and verse 7. And ye shall have on the 10th day of the 7th month, on the 10th day of the 7th month, read, in holy convocation. It's a holy convocation. And hold up. Where you at, man? Are you gathering with your people, or are you just on her taking notes? Are you making any moves towards your nation? No, you're not. See, that's the problem with our people. You got too many individualites out here. And you got some of these dumb rappers out here spewing that they don't need to be in the camp. You out here trying to get rich off fake Israelite music. Because you ain't in the spirit teaching people they should gather with their peoples. Some of these guys, y'all need to wipe some of them, y'all need to kill some of their music. Because some of them are wicked as hell out here putting the music out. They looking for vainglory. Some of you rappers are, man, because you ain't doing the work. Where you at? Where y'all at? I don't see you out there on the street. You may be all white with your fringes on, but when I see you, I ain't see nothing on you. See, they sing that in them songs. That's their studio Israelite music. Read that again.
And ye shall have on the 10th day of the 7th month an holy convocation.
A gathering, man. Where you at, in the studio? Oh, you cutting that track for the Most High, huh? That's what you telling us.
Read. And ye shall afflict your souls. Ye shall not do any work therein.
So this says the same thing. You shall afflict your soul. This is once a year that all the nations should be afflicting their soul. For you're atoning for your sins. So this is an atonement for your sins. Let's go to Leviticus 16:29. These things are all over the Bible. You can ask Pastor Pig Knuckles. He couldn't tell you nothing, man. Well, that's in the Old Testament. We don't do that anymore. We'll go in the New Testament and prove to Pastor Pig Knuckles that Peter was doing this. Some of the other prophets. That's what's wrong with these dudes, man.
Read that the book of Leviticus, chapter 16, verse 29. And this shall be a statute forever.
Hold up. For how long?
Forever.
See, that's the problem right there. I don't know what Bible they read. Maybe they're in the NIV and don't change it.
Read. Unto you, that in the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, ye shall afflict your souls, and do no work at all, whether it be one of your own country, or a stranger that sojourneth among you.
So if you're not in your own country, you got Israelites out here teaching not to keep, but I'm pretty sure they keeping the holidays. So they ain't gonna, well, I'm just over, it's family time, they said. You can't call me for Thanksgiving. You won't probably get the phone answer. It took them a few years to start texting me happy Thanksgiving because they got no answer back. You have to ignore a fool. Ezra 8:21. See, all the prophets that spoke for the power, then rose in the Bible. See, you got some of them that I don't know what they doing, man.
Read out the book of Ezra, chapter 8, verse 31. Then I proclaimed a fast day. Read. At the river of Havah, that we might afflict ourselves before our God.
That's what you're doing. You're afflicting you're making atonement for your sin. Some of you sisters, you're making atonement for being wicked. Some of you brothers, you're making atonement for being wicked. You got secret sins, better make an atonement and get it out the way. Because I'm going to tell you something, judgment is swift. Read.
To seek of him a right way for us.
So when you're doing that, you're seeking of him a right way. Read.
And for our little ones.
Even for the children's, read.
And for all our substance.
Anything that you own, things that you have, your land, your crops. Read.
For I was ashamed to require of the king a band of soldiers.
Read.
And horsemen to help us against the enemy in the way.
Read on.
Because we had spoken unto the king, saying, the hand of our God is upon all them for good that seek him.
See, for all them for good that seek him. Read.
But his power and his wrath is against all them that forsake him.
Y'all better understand. So, understand these things. A lot of people take it to heart that flicking your soul, man, is good for you. Some of you need to fast, but we're gonna cover that too today. Let's give me that video, man. The Day of Atonement. We're really atoning for this captivity we in, man. A lot of us play that right quick. Let's look at the first part of it.
If Israel is obedient, they shall be blessed temporally and spiritually. If disobedient, they shall be cursed, smitten, and destroyed. Diseases, plagues, and oppression shall come upon them. They shall serve false gods and become a byword among all nations. Fierce nations shall enslave them. They shall eat their own children and be scattered among all nations.
All Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. And he hath confirmed his words which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed alway, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither the Lord shall lead thee. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenedst not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. And upon thy seed forever. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
So we make an atonement for our sins. Keep playing, man. That's a wicked Israelite heart beating. Cool. See, I'm going to show you when they let Mel Chasdick loose with that Swiss on it. Ooh. Ooh. That's it on that. It's time for the Day of Atonement, man. We are atoning for our sins here in captivity and keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Let's deal with this even more. Psalm 58:3. We're going to cover that, even though it's up there. Read out. No, Isaiah. My bad. Yeah. Isaiah 58:3.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 3. Wherefore have we fasted?
What?
Wherefore have we fasted?
Wherefore have we fasted? Read.
Say they, and thou seest not.
Read on.
Wherefore have we afflicted our soul?
We what?
Wherefore have we afflicted our soul?
We are afflicting our souls because you have to understand, you go back 20 years, it wasn't many Israelites as wicked as they are today. So the Most High here is crying out now. The children are awakened in droves. Read.
And thou takest no knowledge.
And thou takest no knowledge. Even when you're going through this, some of us still don't take knowledge. Read.
Behold, in the day of your fast ye find pleasure.
Read.
And exact all your labor.
Read on.
Behold, ye fast for strife and debate.
Some people do it that way, but read.
And to smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye shall not fast as ye do this day.
You should not fast like that, man. Some people fast and it don't even do them no good. I mean, you have to understand when you're afflicting your soul, that means you're changing. You can't be the same person. Read.
To make your voice to be heard on high.
Read on.
It is such a fast that I have chosen, a day for a man to afflict his soul.
See, the Most High chose this and His Son for us to make an atonement for our sins. Read.
Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush?
Read.
And to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Wilt thou call this a fast and an acceptable day to the Lord? Is not this the fast that I have chosen?
Read.
To loose the bands of wickedness?
The bands of wickedness. Read.
To undo the heavy burden?
This is preparing us for the kingdom. Read.
And to let the oppressed go free.
The oppressed go free. Read.
And that ye break every yoke.
Break every yoke that is upon our neck. We're fasting for righteousness. A lot of times when people don't understand this truth, man, they still in that flesh. But I tell you like this, I won't shed a tear for you, man. Especially an awakened Israelite. We are the ones here to get it right. We should be getting it right. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 7:5. This is not a game. You will be put to sleep if you think it is. And when you wake up and you're in that frying pan, remember, you was warned.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7 and verse 5. Defraud ye not one the other.
Defraud ye not one the other. This means don't hold out on sex. Read.
Except it be with consent for a time.
This is going into fasting as you read down, but read on.
That ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer.
It's okay to say no then. See, we have to know how to fast and all these things that's going on. We don't have no common sense. How do we know how to fast? We're going to cover it today, but read on.
And come together again.
See, after you don't fast, you can come together again and have sex again, but read.
That Satan tempt you not for your contingency.
Self-control. So understand, you fast. Everything we do, we have to do it righteously. Daniel's 10:2. We just don't do things. You got some people that'll fast and still have an attitude the next day. It doesn't happen.
Read out the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 2. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks.
Daniel said he was mourning 3-4 weeks, 21 days. Read.
I ate no pleasant bread.
See, he said he ate no pleasant bread, so you can't come in here with the Christianity crap. Everything they teach is garbage. Read.
Neither came flesh nor wine in my mouth.
Nothing came in his mouth. No chewing gum, no toothpaste. So you have to know how to fast. It means nothing in your mouth for 24 hours. And eventually, as the prophets grow in this truth, some of us going to be fasting 4, 5 weeks, 2 weeks. Once the contraction gets stronger here, and we knowing that the Most High, we're going to really turn it up. But read on.
Neither did I anoint myself at all.
He didn't even anoint himself. Read.
Till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled.
3 whole weeks, man. 3 whole weeks. Exodus 34:27. So some people, they like to put food in their mouth. And that's why. Turn the television off. Come off your Facebook when you're fasting. I'm going to tell you something. Somebody going to have some food there for you. That's why we're very strict about that food when you're posting food and stuff, because somebody might be fasting, and you have to be careful with that too, sisters, when y'all got y'all messenger and you don't know if someone is fasting. So it is not good to be posting what you eating. I always tell bros, if you ain't feeding everybody, don't do that. See, because someone might be fasting, so shut your television off. Because what they gonna run? They're gonna run commercials all day. Turn that wicked radio station off. Don't pick up no magazines. That's all it's gonna do is tempt you. So from sundown to sundown, nothing goes in your mouth. You're gonna be okay until that last hour. Then after that last hour, you can go 2 more hours. It's just that once you start learning you really afflicting your soul, your spirit. Read on up.
The book of Exodus, chapter 34, verse 27. And the Lord said unto Moses, write thou these words. For after the tenor of these words I have made a covenant with thee and with Israel. Read. And he was there with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights.
And he was there with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights. Read.
And did neither eat bread nor drink water.
You know what Moses did? 40 days and 40 nights. He didn't eat bread or didn't drink water, so he didn't put nothing in his mouth. He wasn't up there eating grapes. See, some of our people, they got an excuse for everything. Read on.
And he wrote upon the tables the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments.
All the commandments up under the 10 commandments, because each one got several ones up under it that applies to it. Let's go to Psalms 35 and 13. That's why Esau pushed that. So some of our people, some of them says 2, some of them says 12. Some of them don't know nothing.
Read that the book of Psalms, chapter 35 and verse 13. But as for me, when they were sick, read, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting. With what? With fasting. Read. And my prayer returned unto mine own bosom. Read on. I behaved myself as though he had been my friend or brother. I bowed down heavily as one that mourned for his mother.
So when you got things going on, see, a lot of y'all want to pick up the phone and call Tyrone or somebody. Y'all better start fasting, man, and mourning for whoever that is that you are praying for. Afflicting your soul is good. So these things we have to take heed to. It's just not about saying you're going to send up a prayer. Sometimes we have to fast together. That's why the unit fast amongst the body is going to really take it to another level. See, now we're really getting into the spirit because we're doing everything that our forefathers did. Psalms 126:1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 126 and verse 1. When the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion,
Bringing us about Zion is us. Read.
we were like them that dream.
We was like them that dreamed, the ones that was before we was in captivity. Read on.
Then was our mouth filled with laughter,
Our mouth was filled with laughter, man. Read on.
and our tongue with singing.
Sing it. Read.
Then said they among the heathen,
Then said they amongst the heathen is just the other nation. Read on.
the Lord had done great things for them.
The Lord, see, they see how the Lord is blessing us. Some people don't see that because when they got a spirit on them, they can't see. They blinded. That's how the Most High blinded. See, some of y'all don't even know that. But read on.
The Lord hath done great things for us.
The Lord is doing great things for us, man. He's taking care of us. One, we keep the commandments. Two, we keep the order. You know, you got people that feel like you shouldn't have order. What kind of nut is you? I mean, you might well be them baby children out there in the street, man. That's what they're basically saying. Read on.
Whereof we are glad.
What we are glad, man. Read.
Turn again our captivity.
Turn again, man. Bring us out of this.
O Lord, as the streams in the south. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy.
We're gonna be reaping in joy soon, man. Some of us ain't been afflicted enough, so the Most High got to afflict you even more. Some of us ain't afflicted, so He gonna deal with you even more. Guarantee you.
Read. He that goeth forth in weeping, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him.
Man, we're gonna be rejoicing soon. Right now, we're making atonement for our sins, so that we make sure we make it into that kingdom. Acts 27:1. Let's get it in the New Testament. Let's see what the brother was doing.
The book of Acts, chapter 27 and verse 1. And when it was determined that we should sail into Italy, they delivered Paul and certain other prisoners unto one named Julius, a centurion of Augustus' band.
Jump down to verse 9.
Verse 9. Now when much time was spent,
Read.
and when sailing was now dangerous, because the fast was now already past,
Read.
Paul admonished them.
See, Paul was keeping the Day of Atonement. Once it had passed, he started checking spirits. A lot of people don't have that understanding. Paul was just fasting, man, but Paul was following the commandments. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 7:1. Because they act like it's not in the New Testament that what we do is the proper things that we supposed to do. Start at verse 1.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 7 and verse 1. Now when Solomon had made an end of praying, the fire came down from heaven and consumed the burnt offering and the sacrifice.
2 Corinthians 7 and 1.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 7 and verse 1. Having therefore these promises, dearly beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and spirit.
Read.
Perfecting holiness in the fear of the Lord.
Read on.
Receive us.
Say what?
Receive us.
Read on.
We have wronged no man. We have corrupted no man. We have defrauded no man.
See, when you understand these atonements, you're supposed to be living like Yahawashi. We're supposed to be perfect in spirit. We're not out here wronging any man. We're not out here defrauding any man. Jump down to verse 8.
Verse 8. For though I made you sorry with a letter,
sad and unhappy.
read, I do not repent. Though I did repent, for I perceive that the same epistle had made you sorry.
The same letter has made you sorry.
Though it were but for a season.
It's only for a season. Read on.
Now I rejoice, not that ye were made sorry, but that ye sorrowed to repentance.
See, when you do this, you do it for repentance. And that sorrow means to mourn or to weep. You do it for repentance. Read.
For ye were made sorry after a godly manner,
Read on.
that ye might receive damage by us in nothing.
Read.
For godly sorrow walketh repentance to salvation, not to be repented of, but the sorrow of the world worketh death.
See, the sorrow of this world worketh death. Sorrow not of repent doesn't work death. Some of us ain't there yet. But read.
For behold, this self-same thing, that ye sorrowed after a godly sort.
A godly sort. Read.
What carefulness it wrought in you. Yea,
What carefulness that wrought in you. What works in you. Read on.
yea, what clearing of yourselves.
See, clearing of yourself. Read.
Yea,
Read on.
what indignation.
Indignation, anger, outrage. Read.
Yea,
Read on.
what fear.
What fear? Read.
Yea, what vehement desire.
What vehement is? What spiritual? What spirit desire? Read.
Yea, what zeal. Yea, what revenge. In all things ye have approved yourself to be clear in this matter.
That's what the atonement is. A lot of us don't know that this all things apply to atonement. Having an issue with your brother. Some people's out here in this truth, man, they still got an issue with their brother. You ain't got to call him, but you see him, you should speak to your brother or sister. How you gonna be in the truth and you can't even speak to your own peoples? You're not in the truth. You're just an Israel nigga. And I tell you the truth. So, these things we must apply. Because if you don't apply it, it doesn't help you. Because you're just part of the 2/3 club. A lot of y'all don't know. Some of y'all got a ticket punched in already. Because you I'm going to tell you something too. Give me Deuteronomy 28:15. This is my last precept. This is the biggest thing in Israel. And it's no cause. It's the cause of the Most High doing. Read that and read it slow.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass,
Everything that we tell you, read.
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
See, a lot of people that hearken is listen. Some people don't like to listen, man. You know why? Because they're still battling the flesh. They still battling that flesh. The flesh, when you battle the flesh, You just a danger to yourself and everyone else. Because our people don't like to listen. Read.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
Oh, that observe means to keep all his commandments. Some of us, when anger come on us, we don't do this. Read.
And his statutes,
Those are the laws. Read.
which I command thee this day,
Which I order thee. Read.
that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So even though you call yourself walking in the light, the curses are still on you because you're still in darkness. And they're going to overtake you. And people's going to say, yep, they got it. But it's hard for our people to hearken, man. I could have showed you about King David when he went off. But we ain't got time for it. Another day, another class. But on that note, shalom, Israel.